scores for Scotland.
Romajang stepping away. Stunning work from Bridger. What an individual score this is.
Dobrant is in.
Talent aplenty has graced these great leagues, but now future stars are set to shine. Last season was the most thrilling to date, but now it's time for a new crop of talent to grace the field, and in this league, anything could happen. It's time to take your seat. The best leagues in the land are back.
Playfield with a black Super Rugby try for the ages.
And then was a white line seeking missile.
Loughborough scores towards the line. Sensational score from Romajang.
Winding to gear, drive to the line. And Cardiff are streaking across.
Welcome back, everybody. But Super Rugby is back underway.
Hello and welcome to Loughborough. We are back where it all began in the Women's National League with the fixture that it all began with. It's Loughborough versus Hartpury. Loughborough won the battle that day, but Hartpury won the war. They lost the game but ended up winning the trophy, and it's a trophy they haven't yielded since. They've won 5 out of 5 as well, but Loughborough have found a little bit of form too. They're 3 out of 4, so is today the day in the cold and the dry where they score some tries and get back to winning ways against Hartpury. It's the first of a double header, so stick with us all day. Clear your diary, get the central heating on, get yourself something delicious to eat and something delicious to drink, and stick with us for 2 great games. Before that though, we're going to have a catch up with the 2 captains. That was done ages ago, but they had lots to say. Here's Abba Austin and Evie Roach.
Fixture I'm most looking forward to, I'd say Hartpury at home. Always a great fixture, I think. Us and Hartpury play similar rugby, makes it really exciting. Both teams, I think, have got a lot of new freshers coming up, lots of new talent, so I think that's going to be a great one to watch. Is it really bad if I say I have the best dance moves?
Probably Amy Dale. She's got some good dance moves.
Exciting, motivated and consistent.
Hardworking, ambitious and fun.
This is amazing. Firstly, I'd be I've got 2, because I've thought about this question before. Firstly, I'd be I think they're called like a russet potato. It's the one McDonald's used to make chips. That just seems like a natural answer. Secondly, I'd be a jacket potato, because then you've got all the fillings, you know, it just seems like a great one to be. The other ones are a bit boring.
Great to hear from Abba and Evie there, but if you thought they were the best guests we've got today, Loughborough have just scored. Great news. I've got news for you. We've got James Roberts on comms, and we've got Loughborough Lightning and England's Lily Ives Campion. It's a cold one. I mean, they're warming up, and hopefully we're going to see plenty of tries today across the 2 games. How are you? You've been very, very busy. Great start to the PWR season.
Yeah, I'm really good. I'm really excited for this afternoon. I think double headers are always really fun to be around, and yeah, it'll be good.
Well, let's start with Loughborough, seeing as they have just gone in behind us. They seem to be improving year on year. What have you noticed in particular?
Absolutely they are. I mean, the biggest thing for me is that they've outscored themselves at this point in the season than the entirety of last year, which speaks volumes of any side at any level. So particularly for this Loughborough side, it's fantastic signs of continuous year-on-year improvement.
Well, you're one big club, aren't you? So Loughborough Lightning, we've already mentioned the great start, but the students going well too. More points. Must be a pretty good time to be involved.
This is a brilliant time to be involved. I think as a club, as a unit, we are in a really good place. A lot of things have changed, but that is always for the good. I think we've played really well, and we've also got a lot of really good rugby to play over the year.
So where do you think these improvements are being made then? She said really good rugby, but what is it specifically that you've noticed?
Well, so for me, the really good rugby is actually that they're playing their phases, which is something that a lot of teams in this league and at university level are kind of scared of. It's almost like when they get to that point where they've been running their plays and they haven't made the line break, panic ensues. The kicks go in, the wild offloads appear. We can't all be the Fiji Sevens team, but you know, for Loughborough, they're actually playing their phases, they're attacking well, they're not afraid to just work really hard, go through 18, 19, 20 phases before they get in the 22, but they're doing it and they're holding on to the ball, and that's a really big positive.
What I will say is, for somebody like yourself in the engine room, that sounds absolutely exhausting.
No, that is exhausting. However, that is the rugby that we want to play. We want to play direct, upfront rugby, and we know that we can get on top of teams that way. So I think that if the Bucks team do that today, they can do really well against Hartpury.
In terms of those phases, though, James, once they get into 18, 19, 20, what's happening then?
Well, this is where the trouble starts. Unfortunately, they're not actually converting a lot of their territory into points. I know that's something they will have picked up on in camp, and it's a lot of stuff that the players will be frustrated about, because they are getting these amazing positions deep inside the 22, spending a lot of time there as well with a lot of phases, but they just can't seem to get over the whitewash. And I think they need to find the extra 1% of remaining cool, calm, and collected, and not being afraid to, once you are 5 metres out, use the width a little bit more and put it out wide, and that's how they'll start crashing over for those scores.
I think the toughest job Fordy's got is picking a team, because he's got so many options.
Yes, and I think that really speaks volumes of the Hartpury University programme, but also this league as well, of the talent that it can attract. You know, Hartpury have a side today which is stacked with international talent, not just at the under 18, under 20 level, but senior capped international players on that pitch as well, which is incredibly exciting. And for any team to have that at university level is brilliant to see. And I think we're going to see a really exciting game as a result.
Any individuals that stick out for you?
For me personally, you can't look beyond that wing with Nell Metcalfe on it. You know, getting those WXV caps for the Wales team, she'll obviously be fired up to keep showing her worth, because when you go out on a pitch like that and you've got almost like the target on your back of you are an international rugby player at the very, very top level, you know people are going to want to put it on their highlights reel of absolutely nailing you in a tackle or rounding you with their pace. So I think she'll be one to watch, because she'll be conscious people will be looking to do that. But then you also look to the bench and you've got some interesting internationals like Anouk Veerkamp of the Netherlands international team, another one with proper top tier female international rugby experience. So for Hartpury, those two individuals coming in and out of the game, I think it'd be fantastic to watch.
Let's talk about Charlie Maymans though, because she was exceptional last year. I mean, last time you were on comms, she had a great game. Did you give her player of the match last time?
Yeah, I did. She had an unbelievable game last time they were here. It was, right from my memory, it was a close game, and she was the person who stepped up for me, and she stepped up for the whole game, and I think she played brilliantly.
Yeah, she was player of the match in the Women's National League final as well when they won that trophy back to back. But you've been impressed with her even more this season.
Absolutely. I feel like she's just hit another gear almost. You know, Charlie has hit a new level in her game, and I think it's come at the perfect time when she's starting to think about what comes next in her rugby career, which is obviously a question that everyone asks themselves at one point or another. So I think what she's done is she's seen what she wants to achieve, getting those England caps, getting that contract with Gloucester Hartpury. I mean, she's already made some appearances for them in the Prem Cup. So I think just keeping that consistency and keeping that quality high will lead to a really nice career post Bucks as well. And for the moment, we get treated to watch it every Wednesday.
Well, that's the individuals. What about the team? Because it feels as though Loughborough were building some momentum, but Hartpury really have 5 wins out of 5 now. Can you give us an insight from a player's perspective about the chats you have around backing up good performances?
So we've got to focus on us, and I suppose Loughborough this week, and especially Hartpury this week, they've got to focus on them. They've got to continue that momentum that they have, and they've got to really bring it into that game this weekend. So they've really got to nail up those basics, nail up everything they've been doing, and bring that into the game today.
And in terms of backing it up, 5 wins out of 5, this is a potential banana skin.
Potentially. We've already seen it in the men's version of this competition in Bucks Super Rugby. Loughborough getting a huge record Bucks Super Rugby win here in the Midlands. Then the following week, losing to an out-of-form Cardiff Met at Kincoy campus. And that's certainly not the way they would have wanted to follow up that game. And so Hartpury coming off that 69-7 win against Edinburgh, huge for that squad, big momentum push, but they don't want to lose that now. They want to keep that momentum going, keep that wind in the sail going.
That was Cardiff Met's first win in 5, I believe. Could this be Hartpury's first defeat in 5? Stick with us to find out. You two have got to get into the commentary position, which is absolutely miles away. And I'm now going to tell you that I had a catch up with Fordy earlier, and he was in great form as ever. The conditions are good, your form is good, so I'd assume that means life is good for you in Hartpury at the moment.
Yeah, I think the girls are real happy at the moment coming into this. We've had a couple of weeks off, but by no means have the girls been kind of sitting back. That we've been really getting after it in training and probably actually bringing intensity more like a game intensity for us, training a little bit more because we've had that time and really been kind of getting after the mantras, train as we mean to play. So perfect conditions today, really. Not much wind, a little bit cold, but running around will soon warm them up.
How do you deal with those periods of time off then? Because it's not a game every week. What kind of challenges does that pose?
It's preparation for us, really. It's about sitting down as a coaching group and a staff, sitting down with the S&Cs and medical and really assessing where the girls are at in terms of how they're feeling physically, and then really what we can chase, what we can actually get out of them kind of in terms of their physical development over those kind of 2-3 week periods. I think we've got after the real key things in the last couple of weeks, and hopefully we can see they're coming into it fresh this week.
Results have been really interesting because, of course, the form is great, but scorelines aside, how do you go about putting this squad together? Because your strength in depth is amazing, but you haven't always got access to all of your players.
I think it's a massive pro of Hartpury. We obviously talk a lot about the pathway and how brilliant that is. And look, for us to, blood some new players, especially freshers at the beginning of the season, as well as then qualifying Prem Cup, and a lot of these players were privy to that and made some huge efforts within the Prem Cup. So I think it's a win-win both sides, and actually when they start to drip back in, it's about how quickly can they all be on the same page. And I think that's the beauty of having a programme that sits under a PWR team, is that you play very similarly, very similar environments. Everyone kind of can get on the same page very quickly. There's been a lot of exposure this year for a lot of players, and when we get them all back together, we're really excited to see how well they can go.
How are you keeping everybody level-headed, feet on the ground? Because you win 5 in a row, you're dealing with young players, they're going to get carried away and think they're invincible. How are you keeping them levelled?
Believe it or not, we haven't had really any talk this year about semi-finals, quarter-finals, finals, winning bucks. It's not been about that. I think we've kind of gone after a slightly different goal this year in terms about, it's such a fantastic league to go back to what rugby used to be, about playing rugby with your mates, smiles on faces, and that's something this league brings in abundance, and that's something we've really got after as a group, regardless what team you're playing in. These girls, we call it Together Fridays. Everyone trains together on a Friday, regardless what team you're in, what your level of rugby is in. And it's just that enjoyment factor, enjoying each other's companies, and we just focus on next week. We'll finish this game, we won't even be looking at next week, we'll be looking at the next session, and then it's the next session, and that just builds for us and grows, and it's really been a good thing for us to get after.
I'll be looking forward to Fridays, they sound great. Finally then, a quick word on Loughborough. What are you expecting from them today?
I think Loughborough are they're a sleeping giant at the moment. They're someone that we know typically have been really strong. They've got all the individual talent, and at some point it's going to click for them. They probably haven't had the last couple of weeks what they wanted, but at home with probably a good crowd with a double header in front of the camera, I expect them to bring physicality, I expect them to bring energy, and we've got to match that and more. So I expect them to come hard out the blocks, and let's see what we bring.
Good luck today.
Thank you.
And that's it. Both the coaches have talked us through the plans. James and Lily have got up into the commentary position. It is round 11 of the Women's National League. Loughborough against Hartpury.
Thank you very much, Dave. Yes, hello one and all. Welcome to the Midlands and to Loughborough University, where two sides on show today are in the middle of their fight towards the top heights of the WNL table. Loughborough University hosting Hartpury University, two teams with history not only in the university world, but in the women's professional game also. So expect big plays, big collisions, and a big scoreline to top it all off. And on a day where many hope that lightning strikes, it's hit me here in commentary. England and Loughborough Lightning star Lily Ives Campion is here to join me. Lily, first of all, how are you and how excited are you for today?
Hello. Yes, I'm really good. I'm really excited for today. I think it's going to be an amazing clash for these two teams. Two teams which always notoriously have an amazing game of rugby. So today I'm very excited to watch that.
So the sides are meeting today for the first time this season. It's not the first time in history. We know the history between these two teams. That's exactly why we're so excited. While many have played teams already twice, though, in this league, due to how the fixture calendar is structured, will we therefore see quite an open, expansive game because it's the first time that they're coming across each other in the season?
No, I think we will. I think this will be a brilliant game. I think both teams will look to play wide. However, both teams also will look hit tight straight down the middle. So I think it's going to be a really big test, a big physical test between both teams.
And you mentioned the physicality there as well. Both sides will look to bring it because they both want to finish at the very top of the table, don't they?
Oh, agreed. They both want to be the best they can be, and I think Loughborough here wanting to come with that big win today, but I think Hartpury are on the back of 5 wins already, so they want to come with that momentum and bring that to win today as well. So it's going to be a great clash.
Well, that's why today's game means so much to these sides. And speaking of the sides themselves, it's probably time we find out how they shape up for play today, starting with the home team. So, Loughborough make just 4 changes since the narrow loss to Edinburgh, 3 of them in the forward pack alone. Philippa Balcombe comes into the front row, so expect some strong runs from the Quinn Centre of Excellence hooker, and Sarah Strether joins Ellie Roberts as one of 2 replacements in the back row. Roberts particularly fired up for this one, having made her lightning debut against Hartpury in the Prem Cup earlier this year. Consistency in the back line is preferred, with only a solitary change in Freya Greensmith. Joining on the right wing, she slots in alongside squad talismans such as the captain of the side, Molly Anderson Thomas, and Ellen Scantlebury, but to name a few. And a mixture of experience and new talent on the bench for the African Violet, which is sure to make an impact in the closing exchanges. So keep your eyes particularly on Leicestershire County's Emily Peters and the Richmond Centre of Excellence's Becca Lawn. Now let's meet the visitors who have faced a 100-mile journey up here, and will look to start at 100 miles an hour in this fixture. 6 changes for Hartpury University's starting 15, who defeated Edinburgh last time out. 4 alone come from that starting pack, one of whom needs no introduction on this WNL stage. Gloucester Hartpury's Evie Roach is back and will co-captain the side today from the front row. And in the back line, star player of the season so far, Charlie May Manns retains her starter spot in the centres, with 2 changes in that Hartpury back line. Tilly Smale, the Bears women's flyer, comes roaring in on one wing, and Nell Metcalf, the Wales international, also slotting in on the other side of the pitch, looking to fly up the edges for scores of her own. Amongst the replacements, plenty of young international talent for Hartpury. Anouk Veerkamp, the Netherlands international, along with England under-20s Georgia Battershil and Tilly Ryle, and Wales under-18 Kelsey Webster, to only just name a few for you all. Now, Lily, you've met the sides just like everyone at home. What sort of game can we expect from these teams?
I think it's going to be a massive physical game, and I'm really excited to watch that. Both teams have such strong packs. These packs today is what's going to bring this game to be an amazing game. I think that's also how the game's going to be won. I think both teams, they've both got 2 really good 10s playing today. We've got Leah and Millie. I think these 2 10s are really good distributors and really good leaders on the pitch. I think they're going to control that game really well.
You've actually just answered the question that I was going to follow up with just then. I was going to ask you, where do you think exactly this game is going to be won or lost? But by the sound of things, set piece is going to be key, because your forwards are going to need to secure the ball, because you've got 2 quality 10s on the pitch that can turn some magic up for both sides, can't they?
Yeah, 100%. These 2 10s are very competitive, and I think as leaders on the pitch, they're both going to absolutely bring that out of the game, which is going to be really good for both teams. Now,
we've not spoken about it yet today. It's another bitterly cold Wednesday here at Loughborough University. It's about -1/0 degrees if it gets ever so slightly warmer. But do the conditions, and indeed this playing surface, Lily, actually dictate the way that the game's going to be played or managed today?
I think the Rubber Grum, notorious for some good rugby to be played on here. I think regardless of the weather, this field, I love playing on this field, and I think Loughborough especially, we thrive on this field, so I think that will help us be a good team today.
Well, we can see Hartpury have made their way out from the changing room. We're looking behind us now off the camera. You can't see this, but we can. We can see 2 teams coming towards us, full of intent, full of fire in the belly, ready for this match, because we've already bigged this fixture up a lot in the pre-show. Lily, I'm going to really put you on the spot here. I'd like a little bit of a prediction. Don't give me an exact scoreline. Give me a winner, and by roughly how many points?
Ooh, okay. I think Loughborough are going to win by 3 points.
3 points?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a very close game, is what you're saying?
Yes, it will be, definitely.
Definitely. A game decided by the performance of the forwards and the way that the fly halves can bring the back line together. We are moments away from kickoff here at Loughborough, and you can see on your screen Hartpury University, they are out, they are ready for this fixture, fired up. And as we said already, a 100-mile journey just to get up here. So we'll want to hit the ground running and start this game with a lot of energy. Loughborough also just starting to make their way out on the pitch, ready for kickoff also. And And the team huddles are over. The clock strikes the hour mark. It's time for the greatest show in university rugby to start again once more. It's Women's National League Wednesday. And it's Loughborough against Hartpury University. Two big names, really, in the world of university rugby, aren't they, Lily?
Oh, massive names. And this is always a big test between both in the women's game and the men's game. They're two very competitive universities.
And we're underway here at Loughborough University. Great take from the kickoff already by Hartpury, and Charlie Maymans puts boot to ball to give her side a bit of breathing space in these early stages. Leah Green deciding to take that one in for Loughborough. A big collision going in early on Izzy Windsor there, the big second rower. That certainly would be the last carry of the game for her. And Loughborough doing really well to work it out wide onto the wings here, but not quite well enough that it stays in their hands with possession, Lily.
Yeah, Loughborough always going to look to play to the edge, going to look to see if we can test those edges early, but unfortunately that went into touch, but now we've got a big test now with set piece. We're going to look to really defend this, see if we can get that back, but again, Hartpury are going to come through with a really strong set piece also.
So it's the first set piece of the game. We've got a little bit of time here before we restart it because we've got a Hartpury player down receiving some treatment. If you're the lead forward in this line out for Hartpury, put yourself in those shoes. What are you calling here?
Guys, time's off. We're just waiting for the 7.
I think first line out of the game, I think you just want to stick to basics here, but you also want to obviously test the defence, and I think you've got to stick for a banker call, and I think you want to go kind of to middle to the tail.
Middle to tail, interesting. But you want to keep, many say that you want to keep it simple, because you don't want to overwork yourself from the get-go. Is that something that you echo as well? Or are you one that likes to flirt with danger a lot in this game?
I think it really depends on the situation, I suppose. I think this early on in the day, I'm going to stick to what I know, stick to what I'm going to do. But I think as the game goes on and the game starts unwinding, then that's when we can then look for and see what we can do.
And it's not the end of the world, is it, that the first time Loughborough have tried to go out wide to the wings, that it's not quite ball to hand that's happened, and there's been a knock-on into touch, and so they've lost possession already from their first chance of attacking. It's just getting the cobwebs out at this stage, surely, trying to, you know, not let the situation and the occasion of the game get to you too much.
Oh, no, exactly. This is good. It's good. We want to test. We want to test as Loughborough, and probably what Hartpury are going to do. We want to test those edges. We want to test those players, and we want to see what we can get through in these first 10 minutes.
And that's Sophie McQueen, who's left the field of play for Hartpury. Just a quick blood sub replacement. So onto the pitch instead is Gemma Bell. And straight to the middle as the crystal ball predicted from Lily there. Hartpury have got quick ball off that line out. Mans sends it in one more to the brilliant Gwennon Hopkins. Her first big run of the game, and now another one. Hannah Kibble, good carry from Kibble here. Here come Hartpury, it's fair to say. Hopkins once more on the ball. Folding around in attack. Where's Hyatt sending this? Hartpury found themselves out wide with a little bit of space to exploit here. Good little footwork from Tilly Smale. Great one-off run there by Evie Addy. The loose head prop getting stuck in right from the get-go, but that is an unforced, uncharacteristic error. And unfortunately, Lola Whitley has given up possession. It'll be a scrum down, a Loughborough ball. Lily, you can breathe again now. It's fine. Don't panic.
That was an absolutely amazing passage of play, from Hartpury there. They were really direct with their forwards, really physical, and that's the pack we know, and that's Hartpury we know. And I think Loughborough have just got to deal with that a tiny bit better. But I think here we've got a really good opportunity. We have a scrum, and we can see what they're going to do from that.
First scrum of the game, but a few moments after we had the first line out of the game, it's really time for the forwards to measure and size each other up.
Stop there. No.
you've gone forward into her space. If you need more space, you guys step back. I was happy with her. You guys go back. You're leaning forward.
The referee not quite happy there with the scrum picture by Hartpury. And so we will reset. And now we'll be treated to the first scrum of the game. Good contest from both sides there, but Hartpury get the shove on, but they give away the penalty.
Number 1, driving across.
Evie Addy, the offender from the red Hartpury team, the loosehead prop not driving straight. And so it gives Loughborough a chance to send themselves upfield, and they haven't. They managed to avoid it going out into touch. Tilly Smale doing really well to keep the play alive for Hartpury. And Lucia Scott was the one that's inspired a bit more of a resurgent response now from Hartpury. They're up to the halfway line. It looks to be like a positive turnover picture, but hands on the floor means it's a penalty to Hartpury. Lily, that's not what was supposed to happen.
No, I don't think. I think that's just a little error. I think when you have that penalty, you really want to get that ball into touch. That just gives you that possession of the field. It gives you that field territory. But unfortunately, that didn't make it. But there's just a few little errors here. I think we just need to clear up a little bit.
End of the white line.
Well, we're going to have the blood sub reverse. So coming back onto the field is Sophie McQueen, but someone has knocked the light switch on their way out of the student union, it would seem, because the pitch has suddenly descended into a little bit of darkness here.
Guys, just keep warm amongst yourselves. We're not going to play on without the lights.
Well, we're going to take a little bit of a break in play, I think it's fair to say, whilst we try and find out what the issue is with the lighting situation on the pitch. It's not ideal by any stretch of the imagination, Lily, but it's important that you can't let moments like this phase your team at all. You know, Hartpury have now found themselves in a very strong situation to attack from, and it could be a really good moment in the game to potentially get a score as well.
No, definitely. This is what both teams want. Hartpury have come into this game, they spent a lot of time in the 22 already. Granted, we've been playing 5 minutes, but they've been spending a lot of their possession down here. I think Loughborough have got their first job to do, is that to deal with that line out, to deal with that maul. I think once we've done that, that will really set up into a good defensive picture then to defend Hartpury in this area.
What stood out for you so far in this game? I know that we haven't had a lot because we only had about 3 or 4 minutes of actual rugby versus what the clock's telling us there in the top left of the screen. But has anything stood out for you at all?
To me, actually, Hartpury's physical and they're playing tight and they're also playing very direct. I think this is what it's Loughborough looking like they're going to struggle a tiny bit with defending. But I think what's really exciting from that is that Hartpury have a lot of go forward. They're testing those edges, but they're playing very well. It's just unfortunate errors which are holding them up a little bit.
And we have light again once more at Loughborough University. Someone will be getting a very strongly worded email, I'm sure, from the rugby team after this one. But not to worry, it's only a momentary delay because we're going to be back underway very, very shortly. Hartpury, of course, with the put in at the line-out with the chance to have a really promising attack right on the Loughborough 22 mark as well. What is key for Loughborough to remember in defence from this position?
They've got to stay connected. They've got to stay connected and really come off the line together here. I think we can't be giving those dog legs because Hartpury will just attack those seams. We've got to stay connected. It's got to stay tight.
Good take in the air from Lola Whitley, but unfortunately the throw was not straight. And so Loughborough will get the option here to restart the match. That's an uncharacteristic error again from the second rower, but these mistakes are very easy to give away in the opening stages of a match, but they'll disappear, won't they?
Yeah, I think once the flow gets into the game, like they've just had a stoppage, I think they would have thought about what they were doing, but actually overthought what they were going to do. So I think here now, they just got to take that step back, think about what they're doing, and then they'll be fine.
Well, now it's Loughborough's turn to have a line out and to see what they can do with a bit of possession. And it's overthrown, unfortunately for them, so it's straight into the arms of Gwen and Hopkins, but encroaching at the line-out means it's a free kick for Loughborough, and they're not hanging around. Leah Green tried to get them started straight away. Their attack very much alive, courtesy of Lucy Weaver, weaving her way through the Hartpury defence. And yes, Lily, that's not the last time I'm going to be using that one today. Lovely inside ball there once more from Leah Green. The fly-off is on fire so far in these opening exchanges. And Loughborough are starting to fire on all cylinders in attack. Recycling once again to the blind side. Green picking up, dealing well with the loose ball. Lovely tip on there to Becky Boyd. And a penalty for Loughborough. Sophie McQueen recently coming back onto the pitch since her blood sub, giving away a penalty there at the ruck, and that time Loughborough make sure the kick goes out into touch. Lily, your thoughts?
This is what we need. We've just absolutely come out there with momentum, and now we're just going to regain that momentum and with filled territory, which is really important for us. We just need to get a good line out, execute, and then see what the backs can do off that.
Well, we spoke in the build-up how much they enjoy getting themselves into these situations, but whether or not they can convert the territory into points is yet to be seen as they go searching for the first time in this match. It was a very good, clean line-out. But now it's out with Green once more. She's bundled backwards, the Loughborough fly half, and this is a great counter-ruck from Hartpury University. They could steal the ball here. And Loughborough have knocked it on at the base of the ruck, so Hartpury turn possession over. That is a statement of intent, if anything else, really.
Oh, unbelievably, yeah. I think that's just pressure. Hartpury have done well there to build the pressure at the ruck. I think Loughborough took probably a tiny bit better over that ruck there, but I think that's just, again, early stages of the game.
Point! Set!
Great scrum from both sides there. It's holding firm, but Hopkins has broken away and breaking through the line to Mans now. Charlie Mans through a bit of a loose pass there, but Lucia Scott tidies it up, and Lucia Scott's breaking through. She's got players outside her. She can make the pass. The offload isn't quite what the fullback would have wanted, and the referee deems it to have gone forwards. So Loughborough, they've played their get out of jail for free card by the looks of things. It's time for their possession at a scrum.
Yeah.
Lily, that's heart in mouth moments really there for the African Violet.
Wow, that was tense. Honestly, Loughborough have come out with those line breaks, really good play against Hartpury there, and then Hartpury have just come back, found those holes through the middle and completely attacked. So this just shows what this game's going to be about completely.
We've got a replay of it here. Just look at Gwen and Hopkins. One defender gone, two defender gone, and it takes a third defender to try and stop her. And unfortunately, that pass from Charlie Mimans didn't quite work out initially, but the raw talent of Lucia Scott meant that that wasn't a problem. And the fullback made an excellent break.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. That was just like those loose skills. Those loose little skills, little offloads, but well done to Ellen Scantlebury there. Came back, work off the ball was unbelievable to come back and make that tackle, to force those skill errors.
Still got time, still got time. Just give a moment. Just wait there. What are we doing? Just putting tape on? Okay.
We've got another quick delay here as another player receives a bit of treatment. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the deep heat coming out, Lily, because if anything, it just seems to have got colder and colder since the moment we arrived at this pitch.
Yeah, I took my scarf off and now I think I'm going to have to put it back on again.
I don't have a scarf, so I envy you. I envy you a lot. Now, will Lucy Finch look to replicate what Gwen Ann Hopkins has just done for Loughborough at the 8 position? That's the question. Well, it's another really strong shove from Hartpury, but it is Finch that comes away with it before they can get the counter push on too much. But again, another opportunity to out-ruck.
Stop purple.
That's a really good clearance from Leah Green, bouncing awkwardly for Charlie May Mans, but she's handed off and she's getting around the outside of the defence. Thankfully brought down by Alex Baker for Loughborough. And you don't want to afford a player with Charlie May Mans' quality an inch of space on this pitch. Hyatt hands off once more to Scott, who looked to take that to floor and offload, but it's been intercepted by Loughborough now, and this is an opportunity to counter-attack. Scantlebury getting the interception there for the African Violet. Vital interception by the winger. And it's another boot to ball by Green, but it's not found touch. It's found the palms of Lucia Scott. So here she goes once more, the fullback running it from deep. And play very much still alive for Hartpury University. Really good attack now from Tilly Smale. She's brought down just outside the 22, but that's a fantastic turnover. Great work at the ruck from Loughborough. They've been trying for that penalty turnover since minute 1, Lily, and it's finally paid off.
Yeah, that was Molly. Molly's good around that area, and I think that's something that she's really good at. I think they've been working really hard, and I think they're just trying to sniff at that breakdown, and I think here, this is where they're going to shine.
Hartpury, end of this white line.
Well, I'm glad we've got a good thing to talk about with Molly, because I've actually got a bone to pick with her. She hates parsnips. How can you hate parsnips around Christmas time?
Really? Is that what she said?
She said she hates parsnips. That was her interesting thing she wanted to tell me.
Wow, I did not know about her.
There we go, some serious judgment being passed in commentary. But for now, we're back focused on the rugby, and another missed throw at the line-out finds Gwenanne Hopkins. It seems every time she touches the ball, she makes a good 20 metres for the Hartpury side, so expect plenty more from the number 8 this evening. Lovely kick over the top from Hyatt. There's a lot of space in behind here, and it's bounced away from Alex Baker. This is dangerous here for Loughborough. But Baker seems to have dealt with the onslaught quite well. And now Loughborough look to build for a clearance of their own. Hartpury screaming, pressure, pressure. It's certainly building. More strong carries, that time from Izzy Winter. McQueen starting the counter-ruck effort.
Guys, don't appeal.
But it's a penalty for Loughborough University. Hartpury off their feet.
You can see Hartpury really wants to build the pressure there. 5 metres away from their line, Loughborough have possession. You can tell they're going to be wanting to go a little bit hard.
Well, do you think this is something they've picked up on in the week? Because we know that the teams at this level do a lot of analysis and a lot of studying together around the physical training. Have Hartpury got a game plan where they're just going to go for it at every single ruck? Are they going to attack every single ruck?
I think if they previewed Loughborough, they potentially that might be what they're looking at. I think, however, Loughborough might just have given their opportunity to do that. So I think that both teams, I think, have just got to work around their discipline around that, because we can't be giving away too many penalties in that.
It's another overthrow for Loughborough University, and again it's with Gwenanne Hopkins, but her offload from the floor goes straight into the hands of Sarah Strester. The blindside tidying up for Loughborough, and it's another chance for them, another lifeline handed to them. But they've handed the ball in turn to Lucia Scott. Here she goes, where's the fullback going this time? Well, she takes up to the line, but hands it over to Nell Metcalf.
No, you're off your feet now, Purple.
Big carry and collision there by Amy Dale. Fantastic work from the hooker. There's May Mans, lovely little grabber along the ground. It's not stayed in long enough, though, for the centre to have a chase on. But still, promising stuff for Hartpury, but also for Loughborough in defence, that ultimately Hartpury had no choice but to try and kick it through.
Loughborough are doing really well here, building up the pressure. The building up pressure was ultimately forcing Hartpury to make some mistakes. And I think that's what they're going to really buy off from this period. But in this area of the pitch, they're going to want to exit off this. They want to see if we can get an exit off field.
Number 6, are you part of the 5-man line out? Okay, we'll play on. Yeah, you're good.
Great take at the line out by Lucy Finch. But there's been a knock-on in transition, trying to set up the subsequent maul. Lily, next time I should just keep my big mouth closed.
No, it's just. I think it's just frustrating for Loughborough at this point. I think they just need to nail. They have this opportunity to exit. They've got a really good platform, and I think they just need to really grasp on that next time.
Yeah, let's go.
Now, we had a couple of scrums in this game where Hartpury have started to get quite a dominant push on, but Loughborough been able to get away with it so far in this match, bar the one penalty. How do you overcome that, actually, as a forward pack? Is it quite a difficult mental obstacle to overcome, or is it more about just going back to your scrum basics in a way?
You've got to go back to basics. You've got to go back to what works for you as a pack. I think Loughborough have got to stay tight and they've got to keep that pressure on in order to counter-attack this scrum.
Was out of the scrum. That was a solid push from both sides. Didn't go anywhere, but unfortunately Charlie May Mans has been given a bit of space to run through the Loughborough defence. And she was ultimately brought down before she could reach second gear, but risky all the same. Scott tidying up loose ball is now with Smale. She's got the footwork to use to get back inside the Loughborough 22. Just brought down outside it though. Lots of big one-off carries at the moment for Hartpury University. Bit of a scrappy moment of play there. And once more it's with Scott, and she's thrown into the floor. Hyatt thinks he sees a bit of space. It's over the top of the Loughborough defence, but it's also over the head of her Hartpury teammates. And Charlie May Mans is going to have to tidy that one up. And that is our high tackle, so a penalty advantage to Hartpury University. Loughborough have got to be really careful here. Great carry from Lola Whitley, powering through the initial challenge. And after that knock-on, we'll come back for the original advantage. And nothing malicious in that penalty, it must be said, Liddy. It's more those tackles start to slip in when frustration slips in, I guess.
No, definitely. I think that's... sorry, I think that's just a pure example of that. I think Loughborough are on the back foot a tiny little bit there, so I think they just need to get a bit of momentum forward in defence, so that's just an unfortunate mistake.
Okay, keep it down.
Referee there as well on the mic, just telling Loughborough to keep the tackle height down. And obviously it's all about safety, player safety and player welfare. But we've got that Loughborough team up on our screens right now, and we're just looking at them. They still look like they've got a second gear to give, you know. They're looking at each other thinking, we can do this.
I think they've got 2 or 3 more than that. I think we've not seen the potential from Loughborough at the moment. I think they've got some really strong things to show the rest of this game.
Everyone's having words with each other, and we can also see Lucy Weaver there giving a few orders.
Okay, we good? Okay.
The scrum half just having a word with the rest of her back line.
Hartpury, water off.
Another name that you would have come across in the Lightning camp, of course, Lucy Weaver.
Yeah, Lucy, she's part of the Lightning development squad, so that's really cool. She's good enough, she's been involved in training a lot, and then that's really good for her and her development in this league as well.
Are you happy? Okay. Okay. Side back on. High tackle.
So that's gone into the corner. So Hartpury will have the line out just a few metres out from the Loughborough line. So big moment now from either side. Big moment of attack for Loughborough and a big moment of attack, sorry, for Hartpury. A big moment of defence for Loughborough. We're just waiting for the ball to be polished Lily before the line-out can commence. Polishing done, line-out ready to commence. Here we go. Great take in the air from Whitley once more, and the drive is on from Hartpury. The search for the line, but it's been brought down, and brought down illegally by Loughborough. Their attack is alive though. Meters out from the line, McQueen is sent rocketing backwards. Screams coming in from either side of the pitch for Hartpury. They've gone out the back, they've gone wide, maybe in the corner. Lovely inside step from Amy Dale.
New advantage.
Another advantage against Loughborough. Big carry by Evie Addy.
That's held up.
But the attempt is held up over the line, but they have the penalty advantage anyway. Big moment there. As Hartpury send it straight back into the corner. Lily, they want to come away with a try here.
Really, honestly, they've been parked in this 22 for the first 10 minutes of this game, and I think they are looking to come away from the points, but you can't discourage the fact that Loughborough have done very well to keep them out. The defence has been very strong. Yes, they've given away a couple of penalties, but I think all in all, they've done very well to be connected and build that pressure for Hartpury here and to make this very hard for them to convert.
Well, this is take two now for Hartpury. Similar position, same sort of throw, taken really well by Lola Whitley. And this team that the ball went down by Red, but it doesn't matter because Amy Dale goes hunting for the line on her own. She's brought down inches away from scoring. McQueen!
No, short!
Short of the line is called. Addy once more, held up again, no! She's over for a score. The loose headers dotted down for Hartpury University's first try of the game, and that is sure to put a smile on the face of the England under-20.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was well deserved try. I think Loughborough giving away little too many penalties there, and I think they've had the advantage, so head down, get over that line. And what a brilliant ball carry that was from her.
Great initial maul defence though from Loughborough, wasn't it?
That was unbelievable. That was really good maul defence, and it forced them to play. It forced Hartpury to play. They couldn't just take over the line there, so that was brilliant from Loughborough.
And just looking at this replay here, I thought for certain Sophie McQueen was over there, the open side flanker, but instead it came back to Evie Addy, who's been all over that ball so far in this match, trying to get onto it. As Charlie Meermans has the extra 2 points, so it means the score at Loughborough University is Loughborough 0, Hartpury 7. And although some might see it as a gloomy outlook for Loughborough University, it's taken Hartpury over 20 minutes to get on the scoreboard. That is a big positive to take away.
That's a great positive. Loughborough's defence has been unbelievable. I think they've caused so many mistakes and some big shots in. I think they've been very good at this point.
Time your own.
Leah Green gets us started once more, and it's the try scorer Addy straight onto the ball again. She's going to be worked hard in this fixture. You can see why, because she's a very effective ball carrier for Hartpury, and that was an effective clearance from Charlie Meermans. Green gives another high ball to challenge Scott, but it's dealt with nicely, and she sends it back. We're having a game of kick tennis now, Lily.
Stop 9.
Well, and Alex Baker says enough is enough. She's going to run it back. No more kick tennis.
No, not now, Red.
And Hartpury looks for the counter ruck once more, but they don't get it. Instead, Lucy Finch gets the next big carry. And a penalty against Hartpury for not entering the ruck legally, entering from the side, which of course is a big no-no.
Can't protect the end of the line.
And this is a promising situation now, Lily, for Loughborough to be in, coming straight off the back of your opposition scoring a try. It's key that you really take a grasp of the game as well, isn't it?
Yeah, take a grasp of the game and the opportunity that you've got. You've got a good line out in the opposition's half, and yes, the line out might not have gone well, but they want to regather that possession, which they have done.
It's not quite how Loughborough would have wanted it to work out, but they do still have the ball, and Weaver was carrying really well, but then smashed into the floor by Addy. A huge carry there from Becky Boyd, lining up Amy Dale, running over the hooker. Loughborough fired up now, really going for it with their carries. Lovely little show of the footwork there from Izzy Winter too. Green back inside to Scantlebury. Scantlebury driving through the initial tackle. Really good work there from the winger. Coming into the centre to get involved. That's gone backwards. So play still alive. The attack can keep going. Proctor is sent flying backwards though. And ultimately Loughborough have to look for a little kick through. And whilst it won't bobble along for a try, it bobbles out for a nice gain of territory.
No, definitely. Loughborough has some real physical, dominant plays there. Really dominant go forward, and I think that's what they needed. That's what they wanted from the get-go, and I think they've done really well in that phase.
Now we'll just talk very quickly. I know that we've been talking a little bit negatively, I guess, about the Loughborough line-out so far, but the hooker has a very interesting story that I think we need to get you to talk about, Lily.
No, she does. So this is our hooker's first appearance in Bucks 1, which is unbelievable for her. She's just come back from a knee injury, which is unfortunate for her. She's played 2 games for Bucks 2, but this is her first game. How unbelievable for her to come back.
It's fantastic. What an occasion to come into as well for your first ever Bucks 1 start in the Women's National League.
Yeah, this is brilliant for her.
And that line out was not straight from Hartpury University's hooker, so it's a chance for Loughborough to get onto the attack, and maybe Lily gets onto the scoreboard.
Hopefully, this looks promising with the way they've played. They can get those direct up-front carries, see if we can test that edge. Hopefully we'll see have a positive outcome from that.
Three set over, yeah, right.
And there is Balcoom lined up to throw it in.
Double throw.
Unfortunately, a double throw on that occasion from the hooker. Means it's a free kick to Hartpury, and they call for a scrum of their own. What would you do on the pitch right now, Lily, if you were in amongst that pack and you did have a hooker who's having their first game for Bucks 1, things aren't starting to go their way? What are you saying to them? Are you giving them a pat on the back and saying, look, I'm here as well, we do this as a team, it's not just about the little mistakes that might come in from individuals?
Absolutely, I think it's just confidence builder. We've got to build up some confidence, you know. We've just got to build up some confidence for her, get some easy lineouts for her to hit, and then we can play the game from there.
Good strong push from both sides. That scrum didn't go anywhere, and Hyatt thought about playing it out wide, but instead sends it down the field. Baker gives it straight back to the Hartpury fly half. I thought we were in for a game of kick tennis there once more, but instead Lucia Scott is on a run and brought down. Hyatt weighed up her options, instead passes it on to Evie Addy, who dismisses the initial Loughborough defence with ease. But that's a strong contest at the ruck, and somehow Hartpury managed to keep possession. Here comes Scott once more. Lovely bit of footwork from the fullback. The ball seems to be pinging out left, right and centre here at the moment.
Penalty advantage.
And Hartpury have got the penalty advantage now. So free ball. Lily, surely you try something special here. Try something you've not done before.
I think we might see a little kick over to the edge.
We do see this, a nice high kick from Hyatt, but it's a little too long for anyone on her team to challenge for. So we will just come back for the initial penalty.
Number 9, not rolling.
Lucy Weaver, the one at fault, not rolling away. That's a difficult one in this game, isn't it? Because you have to show you're making an effort, but how do you show you're making an effort if you are completely trapped? How do you do it, Lily?
You just have to. Well, I find that I just try to look at the ref and be like, I'm really, really trying, but sometimes it just doesn't fly away.
You think of all those Amdram performances in the school nativity as Mary going, oh, please, I'm trying.
Here.
Another strong, reliable line-out for Hartpury taken by Whitley. But they're not hanging around for the driving maul, Hartpury. They want to get this game going once more and bring the tempo back up to 10. But that pass down the blind side has been knocked on. And the tempo comes straight back down to 1, Lily.
Yeah, it does. Loughborough done well there.
Okay.
They've been back foot defending. I think they've done well to build that pressure and to really force those errors from Hartpury.
Hooker, mark is 5. Okay, marks are 5.
Well, we're counting down towards the final 10 minutes of this first half. It's a bit crazy to think that we've already had half an hour of rugby so far in this game. But Lily, give me one thing that Loughborough need to improve immediately in order for them to get onto the scoreboard.
I think it's that penalty count. I think if they just lower that or try not to get as many in the second half, I think they'll be in a much better place than they are now. Because at the moment they're just losing that territory, they're losing that field position because they're just giving away penalties. I think if you just cut that, then they'll be in a lot better place there.
That's a bit of a messy scrum, wheeling everywhere, and Loughborough do manage to come away with a lovely step on the inside. Ball flying everywhere, players running everywhere. And Green's going to add a bit more order back into the fixture with a clearance kick. Smale is eventually brought down though. Lovely bit of play there from Aberley Priestnall.
Scrum advantage.
The co-captain alongside Evie Roach today.
Okay.
But Loughborough have done really well to turn this over. Becky Boyd once more getting stuck into the thick of it.
We just talk about how great of a ball carrier Becky Boyd has been today.
And that's a lovely kick away from Leah Green. Another moment where territory is gained immaculately for Loughborough. And you mentioned Becky Boyd there. I know why she's such a good ball carrier. You ready to let you in on the secret?
Tell me.
She's a former centre.
Oh, wow.
Don't get that every day in the second row, do you? Just casually drop that in there in conversation. Oh, I used to play centre, yeah.
No.
And that'll be where the strong carrying is coming from, clearly.
Unbelievable. Today, she's been very physical, and that's brilliant to see.
Is that going to be key for Loughborough in their success in this game? Keep that physicality going for the full 80 minutes, keep those runs going?
Oh, definitely. Keep that physicality high the whole game, and they'll definitely be in this, which they are completely now.
Good take once more from Whitley in the air, the second row unchallenged so far in this match. And Hartpury get a really good clearance kick in of their own. And we're going to be treated to another line-out, Lily.
Wow, what a great day that is then.
A feast for the eyes of any forwards coach.
Yeah, all forwards watching this will be loving this.
And this is the replacement hooker actually on the pitch now for Loughborough. Kara Shrewsbury, part of the Loughborough Centre of Excellence not too long ago as well. So good to see her involved. That throw not going quite so well for the African Violet because it's out with Gwennon Hopkins once again. Hopkins running riot so far in this game for Hartpury. And here comes Addy. Oh, thought she could sell herself as a back there for a second with a lovely over the head pass. But it found touch. It didn't find a teammate.
That's just her first error from her ball skills today. She's been unbelievable. Her ball through hands out to backs, her ball carry in general, her attack has been point of difference today.
You can see why she's been chosen by England at under 18 and under 20s level to represent the country, can't you?
Oh, definitely.
Scrum advantage.
And we're going to have another set piece. It's a set piece delight this evening. And we mentioned it in the build-up as well, that the set piece was going to be important today. It is playing out that way at the moment because Hartpury are the ones that seem to have a grasp on the set piece, and they therefore have a grasp on this game.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is always a very physical, both packs are very physical, always ends up being a physical forward battle in this game. So this, again, like we talked about, is a really important aspect, and I think Loughborough are going to be a tiny bit frustrated, but they are still, look at them, willing and excited and roaring to go.
Bind! Keep going. I'm waiting for you to get your bind. Take him up.
Lovely bit of chat there from the referee, just letting the loose head Erin Proctor know, yeah, I'm waiting for you to get your bind. That's what I'm waiting for before I call the next bit, because Erin was clearly not happy with the amount of time it was taking for her to say set and to start the scrum. How important is it actually that players have a good relationship with the referee on the field, because that actually ends up equaling a much more enjoyable game for everyone at university level, surely?
Oh, definitely. You want to have the ref on your side, because then you know you can play. When it gets a bit frustrating is when the ref isn't on your side, and that's when you have to play battle, you have to try and fight for them back. So this is good at this point.
Scrum a bit wobbly there, but it comes out for Hartpury, and Hyatt sends that one behind to Smale. She thought about the pass and goes on her own. Lucia Scott went to get the offload from the floor, but the fullback wasn't expecting it. And now we'll reset for another scrum. Scrummy times in the Midlands.
How many scrums do you reckon we've had now?
I've lost count. I've lost fingers to count the scrums on, I think, at this stage.
But then, that's unusual, because a lot of skill errors here between both teams, which we don't see at this level that much.
Are the conditions to blame for that, or is it the occasion that's to blame for that?
I think the occasion. Both teams are bringing an enormous amount of pressure, making this game extremely tight. Look, 7 points in it at 35 minutes first half. It's going to be an unbelievable second half.
Well, because as Dave kept reminding everyone watching, and indeed us as well in the build-up, he'd make a great coach for this as a result. Hartpury are 5 for 5, and they want to keep that 5 for 5 going, don't they? Because to go potentially, hypothetically, the whole season unbeaten, that sets them in really good stead to win the whole thing once more.
Oh, definitely. You can see why they want that. Yeah, Loughborough thriving. Loughborough love this game. This is always a great derby between the teams, so the competitive level here is unbelievable.
We're just taking a little bit of time for a player to receive treatment. And again, it's Stephanie Atkinson currently down receiving that treatment. She's represented Eastern Ontario Junior Rep in Canada before coming to Loughborough University.
Oh, wow.
See, look, I do my homework. Much to my sixth form teacher's surprise, she'll probably think now, later on in life. But I do that. There's a lot of interesting backstories in this Loughborough team in terms of their sporting calibre, and a lot of great players as well. Who particularly have stood out for you in this game?
I think from Loughborough's forwards wide, Becky Boyd and Izzy Winter, those second rows, those powerhouses have really brought the physicality in this game for Loughborough. Their carry's been unbelievable, their work rate, work to reload has been really good from those two.
A very interesting, dynamic duo in the engine room of the scrum, isn't it, at the moment? And do you know, I know why Izzy Winter is also such a good runner on the ball, such a good player in open play. Do you want to know why?
Tell me.
Well, because she's only gone and played sevens in Hong Kong, Amsterdam and Copenhagen this year. That's a lot of sevens for a second rower. And I used to be in the second row. I wouldn't want to play that many sevens tournaments.
Well, I'd take my hat off to her. I don't think I can ever see myself doing that.
Bind! Set!
A bit of a delay there from Weaver to put the ball in, and the penalty again conceded by Hartpury. The same offence coming in from Evie Addy, and the frustration of the Hartpury pack shown. And Loughborough have gone quickly, and Green sent a lovely kick in deep behind here. Hartpury in a lot of trouble if they don't clean it up quickly.
Guys, leave it, it's accidental.
Hopkins takes the direct route.
Take steps, take step.
More big one-off carries for Hartpury, hoping that can get them out of trouble. Lovely drive from Hannah Kibble. Great work from the blind side, but it's spilled out, and Stresta has jumped on the ball for Loughborough. If they use their hands, there's space out wide. Latai taking it in. Loughborough only a few metres out from scoring their first try in this game.
Shot!
And you can tell they are inches away now, the referee calling short. Time for the pick and go, time for the forwards.
Held up.
But it's not time for a score. They've been held up over the line. Lily, I'm going to have to say it to you again. You can breathe now, it's fine. That was another really tense moment.
That was unfortunate for Loughborough. How brilliant. That kick from Leah into the space in the backfield. Unbelievable. The chase, the whole line chase from Loughborough. The work rate there was unbelievable.
So it's going to be a goal line dropout from Charlie May Mans. Really well taken though by Green. Here comes Becky Boyd. Lovely bit of footwork from the second rower and breaking through the tackles again. Roberts. Big collision there, Proctor on McQueen.
Tackle, no clear release.
And no release from McQueen in the tackle means there's a penalty for Loughborough. Is Weaver going to go quickly? They're going to go for the tap and go. Stressler. Quick ball here for Loughborough. Lovely carry forwards from Lucy Finch. Charlie Mimans doing everything at trying to stop the number 8. Stressler goes for the pick and go.
Use it!
And Loughborough go for the drive. Winter is stopped just short of the line. It's now out in the backs. Green. Absolutely swept up by the really high pressing Hartpury defence. Proctor once more.
Stop that.
Becky Boyd. Big carry. Another metre gained.
6 offside.
Finch carries and gets an advantage for Loughborough as well.
Right. Guys, stop there. Over here. Number 6, offside. Number 6.
Hannah Kibble, the one being singled out by the referee for being offside. Here goes Proctor. Charlie May Mans once more stepping up in defence. Green. Loughborough, surely in the corner. And over for the score. Ellen Scantlebury stands up as Loughborough finally get themselves on the scoreboard. The ex-Hartpury student will have scored that with an extra special feeling, I'm sure. Because to score in any occasion like this is monumental, but to do it against your old team, well, that's special.
Yeah, what a well-worked try from Loughborough. Kind of feel like that has been needing for a while. They've been playing some brilliant attack there. They were relentless. They kept going at Hartpury. It was kind of a similar like the other one. Hartpury just kept giving away those penalties, giving away that territory a bit. Loughborough really took that, and they went for it.
The first movement straight, and if they're dominating, then they have to time back on.
This isn't the easiest of angles for Leah Green to kick from. And that one, unfortunately, hasn't got the legs on it. But that is half-time here at Loughborough University. It's a Loughborough 5, Hartpury University 7 in the Women's National League. Lily, your first initial reaction?
Wow, what a game. What a game so far. What a battle between these two teams. It has been very tight, but also exactly what I expected. These two teams both came out really physical, really dominant. And look, there's been lots of errors in this game, but that's purely because Loughborough's defence has been unstoppable. Hartpury's defence has been unstoppable, forcing these errors, forcing these two teams to have to play really well and really strategic rugby.
it's been really frantic at times, very scrappy in different moments of play as well. Is that particularly favouring one team over the other, do you think, as well?
I think it's been pretty equal. I think both teams have had opportunities they haven't taken. So I think this second half they're going to look to really convert those points into 22 entries. Hartpury, a lot of the time in the first half, the first half of the first half, so like the first 20 minutes, really sat in the Loughborough 22. They didn't come away as many points as they hoped, but yet again, Loughborough have come back from conceding, have come back and absolutely lit up the pitch, spent so much time up in the 22, have really done some direct carries, really gone forward, and that's been brilliant to see.
I mean, talk about lighting up the pitch. They seem to be lighting up your spirits as well, Lily. I haven't seen you this enthusiastic because it's been so cold, but you are. You've got the fire in your belly now as well, haven't you?
I have. These games, so competitive. I love it.
Now, how do you think this game's going to go in the second half? We're looking at them having their team talks right now, obviously going through some plans as to what's going to happen with the next 40 minutes. Is there something that you are particularly thinking about from a Loughborough perspective? We'll start with the home side first.
I think discipline will be big for the second half. I think let's really try and get that penalty count down. I think that'll be really important for the game going forward. I think set piece, they're going to really have to pull up on that a little bit, but I also think how can they counter what they're doing? Yes, they haven't had so much success, then how can the caller, the line out, aid and help that hooker that's come onto the pitch now?
And from the Hartpury University perspective as well, obviously they've got a very slim lead at the moment. They've been in that 22 a lot of times as well, and they've not come away with the points to match it. What do they need to remember in that second half?
I think that just be accuracy. I think there'll be a big accuracy message coming from them because their skill set has been amazing, but that final pass to either score or to go forward, that's all.
Well, let's take a look at some of the best moments from that first half. This another fine example of another star player, Lola Whitley, just ever reliable at the line out for Hartpury so far in this match. And this is their first try. Patience really was the main one. I thought they'd scored here, but they didn't panic like me. They took their time, and eventually it was Evie Addy that went over. It was a good score for Hartpury.
Yeah, brilliant score.
And now this is the Loughborough one. This is all yours, Lily, because I don't want to take this away from you.
No, brilliant carry, up front, physical, and look at the backs, working their magic. Classic hands to the edge. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant physicality there from Ellen to get over the line in the corner.
She had to fight off 3 defenders to score that. I think that's no mean feat by any means, is it?
No, she did extremely well.
Well, this isn't the only action coming up over the next few months with Bucks. We've got action coming out of the wazoo. Today, there was a 6:30 kickoff in Bucks Super Rugby. Cardiff Met versus Swansea. Well, there is going to be a 6:30 kickoff. I'm getting ahead of myself. Courtesy of Cardiff Met Sport TV. And then stay here with us because at 7 o'clock, Loughborough are hosting Nottingham. It's second versus bottom. Nottingham desperately wanting to get their season back on track. And Loughborough looking to bounce back from a shock defeat last week on the road at King Coed Campus. And of course, next week, Christmas has come early because it's Cardiff Clash 2.0. Cardiff versus Cardiff Mets in the Women's National League and Bucks Super Rugby. That is a feast for any rugby fan's eyes, is it not, Lily?
Oh, what a brilliant few weeks of rugby coming up. And this evening, Loughborough loves a doubleheader. And Wednesday night lights on the Crumb. It's going to be a brilliant atmosphere tonight.
We love a magical Wednesday night filled with rugby delight, and so far at the moment it is Hartpury University delighting in the rugby more than Loughborough, but it could still go either way. The second half is moments away, and also this evening, don't forget, we've got coverage of that Cardiff Met fixture against Swansea on King Coed Campus, courtesy of Cardiff Met Sport TV and the amazing Sport Broadcast Masters students there who will be running that live stream for us. And also this evening, Loughborough hosting Nottingham University, as I've already said. 7 p.m. kick-off, but that will follow the coverage of this Women's National League fixture. And then the Cardiff Clash next week. Well, we were hoping to hear from Bucks Super Rugby's Mr. Rogers at half-time there, but unfortunately we haven't got the time because we're going to get straight back to the rugby, to the action at hand. And Lily, get back to the edge of the seat, because it's time for 40 more minutes of brilliant Women's National League rugby. Are you ready? You look like you're really up for this now.
No, I'm ready. What a competition it's been so far, and I can't wait to see what happens in the second half.
Well, Charlie Mans has got us started once more here at Loughborough University. Big carry once again to start the game off from Becky Boyd. It's good to see from a Loughborough perspective that they are going to pick up where they left off in that first half. Bit of confusion there in the back line, but a lovely decision from the fly half Leah Green to go for that grubber along the ground, making the best of a bad situation all of a sudden, really.
Oh, yeah. That was really good from her. What a great leader she is as well. She's been really involved in that lightning pathway, done really well, and I think she's going to flourish in this league this year.
As many youth coaches will say to all aspiring girls and boys who want to play rugby, that was playing with the top 2 inches of your head, using your brain and your eyes, and reacting. Good line out for Hartpury once more. Whitley completely unchallenged at the front, and it's out with Hyatt. And Hopkins hopping out of one challenge, breaking through another. Gwenanne Hopkins still going.
Stop one.
And Charlie Mans sees a bit of space in behind. And it will roll out just before Nell Metcalf can get to it, but had the winger been able to get to that ball, it would have been danger time for Loughborough, because it bounced really badly in front of Alex Baker.
Oh, didn't it? Even I was shocked when I saw that.
But that's the thing with this ball, you can never let it bounce. There's another one that every youth coach will be saying up and down the country. Never let a rugby ball bounce in front of you, because you'll never know where it's going to go.
No,
keep going,
100%.
keep going. Okay, we're good. Yeah, you're good.
Great work out of the line out from Loughborough University. Lovely trick play. Sees Becky Boyd running with it. And Leah Green looks to use the distance on the pitch again to her advantage, and nearly sat up nicely for Freya Greensmith. But Tilly Smale cleared it up for Hartpury. And those challenges were right in front of our commentary position, Lily. They were all ferocious.
Weren't they? Molly absolutely flew into all of that. What a physical player she is.
And Hartpury going onto the blind side here. Just knocked on ever so slightly by Hannah Kibble. Means it'll be a scrum down Loughborough ball. And we mentioned it there very briefly. It's not stopped from the first half. The physicality is still right there at the very top. I think it's even gone up to 11 maybe.
Yeah, when we said it earlier, Loughborough, they've got a few gears to go, haven't they? They've reached it, but yet they can still push more now. I think they're really in this game. You can see they really want it, which is really good.
I'll set back, all right?
Second in! Yes, we can.
Crouch!
Sing!
Bind! Set!
1, 2, 3!
That was a very unstable scrum picture in front of the referee there, so we're going to go for a reset. And actually gives me a chance to tell everyone that after I've asked you this question, Lee, that they need to listen into the scrum, listen to how vocal both those teams are to control the power of their push. Lily, how important is communication at scrum time and bringing the noise that everyone knows what their role is?
Bringing the noise and bringing the energy will only big up your front row. Your front row has a big job to do here, a big job. So from everyone else in that pack to really big up your front row, they're going to get really excited and they're going to really want to go through the mark there.
And as I say, take a listen in on this scrum. I'll shut up.
I'll set back once it's stable, okay?
And I'll let you just enjoy.
Second in!
Crouch!
Sing!
Bind!
Well, we didn't get to enjoy the scrum itself. Slightly early push from Hartpury means it was a free kick to Loughborough, and they are very quick to get it out to their wing. Scantlebury wasn't able to hold on to that ball. It was knocked on by the winger. Really, it happened because of the frenzy of trying to get the ball out wide quickly.
Yeah, you can see Loughborough really wanting to push the edge, really wanting to push that. They've got this opportunity, loads of momentum, and you can see they just want to go. They just want to keep going forward.
Take responsibility of your body weight and need complete stability.
Referee just reminding Hartpury that they need to take responsibility of their body weight, maintain themselves from encroaching on the mark and the gap that you have to hold at scrum time. Are they going to be calling on the help of the second row to hold them back, the front row?
Potentially flankers as well, hold them back, and then once that set's called, to really push and get through, and really put as much force as you can through.
Point!
Okay, wait.
Well, this time it's a penalty for Hartpury University.
17.
Emily Maguire singled out for not driving straight at the scrum by the referee. And now Hartpury find themselves deep inside Loughborough territory. And I didn't mention it before she left. She's been substituted off at half-time, the loose head for Loughborough, Erin Proctor. We didn't mention it, deserves mentioning as well. She is now, since records began, the highest capped Loughborough University women's rugby player of all time.
What an achievement that is for her. But also, credit to her, she's club chair of the club, and what an unbelievable person she is. And what she does to this club is brilliant.
1,000 apologies, Erin, that it was not mentioned earlier, but we have mentioned it now. We've given her the praise that she so deserves for that accolade, and whilst we have a Loughborough player down receiving some treatment, let's talk a little bit about your season so far, Lily. How's it been in that Lightning camp, and also flirting with the edge of the England squad as well? That must be so exciting.
Oh, it's been really exciting, and to have this opportunity this year, I've been very grateful. And Lightning this year, we've got a new coach, new team. It's a brand new setup. The whole programme is brand new, and it's been brilliant. We've been playing really well. Yeah, we've had 2 games. We had 1 bye week, and first game didn't go our way completely. But hey, we're a new squad. We're coming together. The game against Leicester, we really came together in some, I must say, awful conditions. The weather was awful. However, with that game, we came away with the win, and that's what we needed. The squad needed that, and that was brilliant.
How is that new look Premiership for you as a player? Obviously, it's got a new name, it's got a new branding, new TV rights deal. How much does that mean for you as a women's rugby player that that's happening and that development and change is going forward?
Oh, so much. So good for the game. So good for the game. And also, personally, I think just shows how much we're coming. So, been playing in the Prem for a few years now. And I think just from where it was to where it is now is unbelievable. And it's so good to see this is where we are now. What's it going to be like in 5-10 years' time?
Well, and how great is it to see that this Women's National League is just getting stronger and stronger every year. Obviously expanded to even hold more teams this year. It's only going to do wonders for the game as a whole, isn't it?
Oh, it's going to be absolutely brilliant.
But we turn our attention now to a Hartpury driving maul, because they are getting very close to the Loughborough line. So close that they might have even got over it, but they're just short. This is red zone defence now from Loughborough University. And the ball is spilt from the substitute Veerkamp. And so Loughborough University, they get to restart with the scrum. That was touch and go for the African Violet.
Wasn't it? That was great maul in the first hand from Hartpury there. Really tight, really together. Just came away from that, but hey, let's talk about the defence from Loughborough. How good was that 5 metres out? Really putting that pressure on the skills of the Hartpury players.
We talked about the physicality being at 11. They took it up to 14, 15 there. It would not give them a gap of any sort to try and break through and score.
Yeah, I got it. She's good.
Now take a listen to this.
Points. 6.
Big push from Hartpury University, but Loughborough come away with it with Lucy Finch. But she is stood upright, stood tall, and Hartpury might be able to hold her up here for a turnover. Her knee hit the floor there for a second, but the referee's seen enough. It's a turnover of possession. This is a big moment for Hartpury University in this game. And what about that noise at scrum time as well? The screaming of either team.
just shows how much they want it, doesn't it? Shows how much of a contest this is. Both teams screaming, really getting the energy up in that scrum.
Hartpury warming up quite a few substitutions just in front of us here on the near side touchline by commentary too. So you might think that after this next passage of play, the replacements are going to start raining in. We spoke about their quality in the build-up, but for now, our focus is still on the 15 that started and the 15 that might extend Hartpury University's lead. Good scrum for Hartpury. Gwennan Hopkins coming away with it once more. The 8 trying to go around into that blindside position. Big hit coming in there on Amy Dale, but she drives through.
Held up.
And she's held up over the line to be a goal line dropout for Loughborough. We're having a lot of goal line dropouts at the moment in this game.
We are. This has been relentless. Relentless from Hartpury in this area of the pitch. Just complete go forward. Complete go over that try line. Unfortunate for them being held up, but commend to Loughborough for that. Holding up, being physical, holding that ball up and getting away with that goal line dropout.
It's a really nice long kick from the dropout by Leah Green. What do Hartpury make of this with Scott? Well, she thought of a pass, passed it to herself, and Hartpury still have an attacking opportunity. Big hit on Aberley Priestnall. That's a welcome to the second half if ever she needed one. Charlie May Mans handing off 3 defenders before being brought down. The inside centres had another really good game for Hartpury. And Hopkins is another one that's exceeded what's expected of a lot of these players. Lucia Scott now with the ball, looking to round the defence on the outside. Smale got the offload, but it was forwards. And so it's going to be a scrum down Loughborough ball. And we've got a player down from either side as well, so it'll be a slightly longer period to stop. And I'll stop and catch my breath, and you can tell me what you think of that, Lily.
The shots from Loughborough there were unbelievable. 2 real dominant shots, one after the other. That was a really good statement from them at this point in the game. We're just getting to that 50-minute mark. Really good impact with time left. 2 points between the two teams.
So Daisy Smith and Amy Dale on the screen there, leaving the pitch. 2 really good shifts from the scrum half and hooker. And Lily even getting a smile from Amy Dale as well. So she's obviously happy with what's happened this evening. And why wouldn't you be with that performance?
Yeah. Me and Amy, we played England to 20s last year together, so that was really good fun.
Now Stephanie Atkinson down at the moment for Loughborough, receiving a little bit of treatment, the tight head.
Looks like she potentially might have a nosebleed.
Well, it's nothing a cotton bud can't solve. Because at the end of the day, all these players won't want to come off this pitch at all. Even when their lungs have completely gone, they've got no more energy left to give. Because of the sort of occasion this is, they don't want to come off, do they?
No, not at all, not at this point, especially with a 2-point game. Unbelievable opportunity here for both teams to go and take away with that win.
Purple scrum.
Well, it's time to restart proceedings.
With another scrum.
Scrummy.
Let's go, 8. Crouch! Bind! Set!
Good scrum there from either team. It's not gone anywhere. That's a pass that didn't go to hand from Addison Thomas. And Leah Green's in a bit of a pickle here. She needs the support of African Violet, or does she? Almost going on her own there, Leah Green. And that's a charge down kick from Gwennan Hopkins, and Hyatt has collected it for Hartpury. Oh, how the tables turn so quickly in Women's National League Rugby. Here come Hartpury University. Hopkins now inside the 22. Lovely pass to Smale. Round the last defender on the wing. Cutting back in.
Release 10, hands away, hands away.
Tilly Smale brought down, inches away from scoring.
Shot, tackle.
Another big carry from Veerkamp again. Evie Roach. Passes on one. And just as Gemma Bell thought she was over for the score, Hartpury are held up once more. Well, that sounded like a Dr. Seuss book. I'm impressed with myself for that.
No, this has been one hell of a battle.
It was another moment of scrappy rugby, wasn't it?
Yeah, Loughborough here trying to exit, charge down from the Hartpury player, hands to the edge. However, really good feet from the winger to get over to the try line, who just didn't quite execute it at that point.
Good goal line drop out once more from Loughborough, and Lucia Scott tries to get that one out wide, and it does for Metcalf.
Hold. Backwards.
Good counter work for Loughborough, but Hartpury still in possession of the ball. Roach is going rumbling through the Loughborough defensive effort. Whitley. Lovely little pass on. Charlie May Mans now. Couple more passes and they could be in here. Lucia Scott. Big hit going in on the fullback and the ball bobbles out. Is Leah Green completely out? She is now.
Red scrum. Her line out, sorry. Red line out.
I'd love to see a replay of that, Lily, because I'm pretty sure one more pass from Lucia Scott would have seen Hartpury in for a score.
Oh, definitely. They're the opportunities Hartpury have got to take at that point. Look, if we watch the replay.
So it's a great pass from Priestnall to Charlie Maymans. Maymans to Scott. And Tilly Smale was outside.
Just had one more pass and they were in for a try there, and they're the opportunities that Hartpury need to take.
Well, they've got another opportunity here with a driving maul. Starting to wheel a little bit as well as Loughborough push them back, but it's come to nothing because Hartpury are over for their second try of the game. It's Olivia Constable that comes up smiling. And the England under-18 has scored her first of the game and Hartpury's second. Lily, as a forward, what do you think of that try?
It was a great maul. We love a maul try over here. And I think that's a really good example of a tight maul, really sticking together and all driving forward over that line.
We love them all, really.
We do.
All the tries. Well, if this kick's successful, it takes Hartpury out of touching distance of Loughborough a little bit, and just as I say that, the kick has not quite got the accuracy. It had the legs, but didn't have the accuracy, so the gap is but 7 points between these two sides in the Midlands. It's Loughborough 5, Hartpury 12 in the Women's National League. And Lily, it's still, in many people's eyes, a one-score game.
It is, one-score game, one try, and that's all. And that's what we're going to see from Loughborough now. I want to see how they're going to come out from under the sticks, what they spoke about, and see if we can see that on the pitch now.
Play on, left the pitch.
Well, Hartpury let the ball bounce from the kickoff. Certainly not something they would have practiced in training or wanted to have experienced in this match. And Leah Green now sees a lot of green space in front of her to exploit with a kick. And that's come off really well for Loughborough because Scantlebury's been able to collect it on the far side. But unfortunately, that's a knock-on from Emily Maguire. So Hartpury have possession once more.
Advantage over.
Millie Hyatt with the clearance kick. And that will bobble away nicely for the visitors.
Red, you're here.
Your thoughts, Lily?
Here, I think Hartpury just had to really relieve their pressure that they were under. The kick away there, probably the best option for them at that point.
Is she part of the line out? How many doing? 5 man? Okay, we can play on then. You've got your 5.
We've got another Loughborough player
You've got your 5, we'll play on.
receiving some treatment, but the referee's saying that we're going to play on.
Yeah, all good.
Because they've got their 5 in the line out. And that wasn't a straight throw to Becky Boyd.
Option. What would you like? Okay, line
And
out.
Hartpury will take the line out. Good decision from Hartpury.
No, I think good decision. They've had real good success here at this point in the game, so I think this would be the best option for them now.
And we've got a Loughborough player down, still receiving some treatment here in the middle of the pitch. But we're going to continue on with play. And Hyatt sends that on to Hopkins, of course. Who else would it be? But on that occasion, she's brought down very quickly. And now Hartpury, it's their turn to spill the ball in possession, and it's picked up by Emily Maguire, who soldiers through. And there goes Ellie Roberts. Good carry from the open side flanker. Leah Green charged down. Lucia Scott has the ball in her hands. She's got support with her from Smale, but she's knocked it on in the tackle. And Loughborough once again get a scrum, and that was a very dangerous moment, but one again where the pass should have gone.
Yeah, agreed. I think you could see what Leah wanted to do there. You could see there was space open up in the backfield. You could see what her opportunity was, but really good from Hartpury with that charge down there. Probably could see that extra pass, and yes, they're away.
Is this starting to worry you a little bit, that Loughborough seem to be kicking a lot more than they have done so far this year? Because we mentioned in build-up, we praised them for wanting to go through the phases, keep possession for long periods of time and being patient. But now they're starting to resort to a lot more kicking, and that nearly went completely the wrong way for them. So do they need to just stop that right now?
I think kicking is still a good option for them, and I think there is a lot of space opening up for them. So I think potentially they could get themselves to a bit of a better position on the field, potentially. Maybe that's an extra carry and then get set to kick. Might be the better option for them now.
Well, free kick for Loughborough.
18.
Veerkamp driving early.
You're inside now, just taking it at the back of the scrum.
And Leah Green looks for distance, and she also finds touch. That's a really smart kick from the fire half. They obviously won't get possession, from the throw-in, but smart to take the distance in the territory.
Yeah, Leah herself used to be a footballer, so her kicking skills are unbelievable.
She's also told me she used to be part of the England gymnastics team.
A woman of many talents.
Indeed, well that's why she's a fly half. And every fly half will love me saying that, because they really have got to be a player with a lot of skill set, haven't they?
Oh, definitely. They've just got to be able to run that game completely.
Good take from Kibble at the line out for Hartpury, and they start the maul motoring forwards. It's gone sideways at first, but now it starts to get a bit of forward pace. And they've broken away now with Olivia Constable. The replacement hooker is on her own, but she's got a bit of support. Will the rest of Hartpury arrive as a high tackle goes in on Tilly Ryle? And a huge hit goes in on Kibble. And the captain, Evie Roach, goes to tidy things up, but it's a fantastic turnover from Roberts. Brilliant work from the open side flanker, Lily. Just wow.
What an amazing shot from Lucy Weaver there. Absolutely massive. Yeah, here's the replay of it now. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, just look at this carry from Evie Roach. Just when she thought she was like, yeah, I can get my side going again. Ellie Roberts is straight over the top, nice and low. Impossible to move a player from that position, isn't it?
I've seen her this whole game really fishing for that turnover, and here she is. Got it, and what an unbelievable it was. Textbook.
Happy? Okay, water off, please. Water off. Water off. There's a bottle on.
Well, we're now halfway through this second half. You can see there on the clock, 60 minutes gone. The 1 hour mark is passed. 7 points separate the sides currently. I feared for my life there for a second because that ball was coming straight for us, Lily.
Do you think you could have caught it?
No, I'm holding too many things. I can't multitask. Now, will Loughborough look to run this ball out from this position, or will they want to kick and clear for territory because they want to settle the nerves almost?
Well, by the looks of it, I think they want to maul at the moment, but I think they'll probably have to kick.
Hold forward.
And they do indeed kick. But because they took it back into their own 22 and kicked it straight out, it means the Hartpury will have possession and a line out inside, or sorry, just about in line with the Loughborough 22.
That's unfortunate, isn't it? They're just one of those things that you just don't want to happen, but that's unfortunate for Loughborough. Let's see how their defence goes here.
It's almost one of those things you just don't think about until it happens. Well, here come Hartpury University. Another really strong maul set. And Constable again in the driving seat. And she broke away there with Gwennan Hopkins. Can they get the ball back? Yes. Veerkamp. Good carry now from Battersill. And now it's going to go through the backs. Nope. Hyatt thinks twice, does get the pass away eventually. But Scott is brought down. Hopkins, another big carry. I would love to see the carry statistics on the number 8 performance today. Veerkamp also chopped to the floor. Charlie Maymans thought about the wide floaty pass, but instead is wrapped up in defence.
Guys. It's gone forward. It's gone purple.
Well, the referee says that's gone forward from Charlie Maymans, and that will bring an end to Hartpury's latest attack. Lily, what on earth is going on?
Wow. We said at the start what game this was going to be, and that is really living up to the game that we expected. But look at this from Molly. Absolutely great wrap-up of Charlie Maymans there.
It's fine, we can carry on. Let's go.
I think Loughborough in this area are really winning those small defensive key points here, really putting them in a good opportunity to exit and then go play forward, making it really hard for Hartpury at this point to attack and to get over that white line.
It's interesting to mention as well with that last hit is Molly Anderson-Thomas on Charlie Maymans, 12 versus 12. It's always a fun one when you get to line up your opposite number, isn't it, Lily?
Oh, definitely something you look to do at one point in the game.
That's why my cadence is slow, okay?
Well, I'm sure Anderson-Thomas will take a little bit of pleasure from that and have a little bit more step in her stride for the rest of this game. But for now, a strong clearance is essential for Loughborough. You don't want to spend any more time in your 22 than you really have to.
No, and I think Loughborough needs to be clinical here and get a really good exit, so let's see what they'll do. Do we think they're going to play out here?
Are you asking me? You're the rugby expert. You're supposed to answer that question. I think they've got to kick and clear. They've got to clear their lines, haven't they?
Okay, guys, gap is good now. Feet underneath you, okay?
Head in the game. That's the message going around the scrum. Get your head in the game. Little reference there for you High School Musical lovers out there. I don't think anyone's head isn't in the game, to be honest, really, Lily. I think they're all very focused on the task at hand, and the referee is finally happy with the gap at scrum time as well. But you've got to make sure you don't then suddenly lose your physicality, haven't you?
No, definitely. I think this is where, you know, we said what we said, heads in the games. It's really got, they've really got to score feet together here. Really got to work together as a pack and really unify.
They're all in this together.
Okay, don't touch her.
Well, that's a really good scrum there from Hartpury.
Hold forward, stop 8.
And the kick does go in from Leah Green. It doesn't find touch though. Tilly Smale spills it a little bit, so she's going to have to work a lot harder now. Coming in off her wing, brought down by Roberts. Charlie Maymans. Gwennan Hopkins, one more pass surely. Gwennan Hopkins shows and goes! And goes into the corner. for a score. Hartpury University's third try of the day, and now the hunt begins for try number 4 and the bonus point. Just talk me through this one then, Lily, because we expect it from backs to have that sort of vision, but rarely from back rowers.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Little show and go there. Has the option to hit either outside or her carry herself, and either way would be a positive outcome for that try.
Great attempt of a last-ditch tackle as well from Lucy Weaver. Brilliant work from the number 9, but the power and the sheer pace of Gwennan Hopkins meant that she could not be stopped despite the best efforts of the scrum half. And Hartpury are 5 more points to the good.
I think that just shows the type of game that she's having at the moment.
She's got to be up there with your player of the match nominations, has she not?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Well, unfortunately, that kick from Charlie Mayman's not accurate on that occasion, so no extra points for Hartpury. And so the score now reads Loughborough University 5, Hartpury University 17 in the Women's National League. Time ticking away to the final 10 minutes. It's now or never for Loughborough University, really. And they won't get that from kicking the ref. But it's now or never for them, really, in terms of getting back into this fixture. They need a score, and they need it quickly.
Yeah, they need to come out of this restart now on the positive side of it and see what they can do from this.
Well, Alex Baker took that really well, and rather than running it herself, handed it to a fly half, and Roberts now. Good bit of footwork from the open side. And Becky Boyd. Haven't said that name for a while because she's been working effortlessly in defence. And now Stephanie Atkinson. What a carry from the tight head. Loughborough working this one out wide. Lovely use of the hands. Scantlebury on that far side.
Scrum advantage.
The offload not working. Hartpury
No advantage.
have done their job in defence,
Red scrum.
forced the mistake, and are back in possession.
That's unfortunate because the absolute class hands from Loughborough there to get to the edge to find Ellen. Really good use of fixing that player and getting that out. You can see Lucy Finch there on the edge, number 8, using her skill set to really get that ball to the edge. Just unfortunate for Ellen there to have that knock on, but Loughborough really just came out from that restart, really came direct, really came forward, and that was really brilliant to see.
Hannah Kibble is down at the moment receiving some treatment from Hartpury University, as well as another Loughborough player down. They won't want Kibble to be down for too long. She's a Gloucester County age grade product, and also another one in and around the Gloucester Hartpury setup. A team which you will have to come across in the Premiership as well.
Yes, I couldn't tell you exactly when, but it'll definitely be coming up soon, and I think that that is always a great test between Loughborough and Gloucester Hartpury.
But I know what is soon, and coming up this Sunday, Saturday at Franklin's Gardens. I nearly had it, so nearly had it. This Saturday at Franklin's Gardens, you're facing off against Bristol Bears. How excited are you for that?
I think this is always a great game between these two teams, and I think that Loughborough obviously just come back of a win, and then Bristol have just come back of a loss, so I think it's going to be a great performance from both teams.
When there are plenty of former and current Women's National League players featuring in that match, but also all of the other matches across the Premiership Women's Rugby competition this weekend. And that really does speak volumes of this league more than anything, doesn't it, Lee? The fact that those players are just effortlessly transitioning from this rugby to the professional game.
Oh, definitely. The number of players within this Loughborough squad at the moment who are within this Lightning pathway and within the Lightning development squad is unbelievable. There's numerous names on that list that we could read out who've been involved in that squad, and I think that's credit to them and also their development within this league as well, and what they can do when they come out of rugby.
Red scrum.
Now, unfortunately, we've got the Thunder, but no Lightning now because Lucy Weaver has left the field of play. The Lightning player has come off. She's probably taken a knock, which means she can't continue, and we hope it's not too serious. And instead we're introduced to Gabby Knight, another ex-Hartpury player. Another one that's got a particularly personal attachment to this fixture. Well, now it's Loughborough's turn for a good push at scrum time, and Hartpury get rid of it quickly. Charlie Mayman squares up Latai and goes through her. The pass could get away to Smale, and it does. Good quick ball for Hartpury there, but the pass from Tilly Ryle wasn't to the hands of Hyatt. So Millie Hyatt having to tidy that one up on her own. She does so really well. Charlie Maymans to Lucia Scott. Back to Charlie Maymans. Lots of calls for forward there. A little chip over the top from the centre. And a knock-on as well to go with it. And that'll bring the latest passage of play to an end.
That just really emphasises Charlie Mayman's skill set. That little chip and chase, yes, it wasn't successful, but that was brilliant from her, that she can just pull that out the locker.
What about that confidence that the player must have of Charlie Maymans, just to casually look up, go, no, I fancy it, I back myself, and go for the chip over the top, because they're really difficult, and that nearly came off.
Well, to everyone's surprise, I've not done one of them myself, and I think that they are extremely difficult to do, and I think credit to her, because that was brilliant.
Point. Set.
Big push coming in from Hartpury now.
18.
But they're the ones conceding the penalty. Once again, Anouk Veerkamp penalised for not driving straight at the scrum, and we now tick into the final 10 minutes of this game. Lily, the tension is rising.
It is, massively. Loughborough have a real good opportunity for attack here.
Well, it's not going to come off though, because Molly Allen has got it from the kick. It did not make touch, and so Millie Hyatt sends it back to Baker, and it bounces off her forwards. Well, lucky for Loughborough there that they're not calling for the accidental offside and potentially a penalty for Hartpury, but we're just sticking with the scrum down Hartpury ball from a Loughborough knock-on.
Yeah, but we looked at the scrum last time. That's a real dominant scrum, sorry. And I think Loughborough really come out here, so this is going to be a great battle here.
Well, now that we are in these final 10 minutes, I need to ask you a very important task, Lily. I need you to think of 2 nominations from either team for player of the match. You look so uncomfortable that I'm asking you this, but you've got to do it because that's what you've signed up for. I hate to break it to you. Always read the small print, kids. Who are your nominations from either side?
So from Loughborough first. So from Loughborough, for me, Becky Boyd, she's completely stood out for me today. Her ball carries have been unbelievable, extremely physical going forward, and I think what a player she is and what a player that she's going to be. I think she's had some really brilliant impacts in this game today. And then from Gloucester, Gwennon Hopkins for me, that number 8, real, again, amazing ball carries through the middle.
We're talking of amazing ball carries. Olivia Constable has got that one away to Charlie Maymans, who will slide in for the bonus point score for Hartpury University. Surely now they've wrapped up the full 5 points. They're there, Lily. They're there. But look at this amazing try. I mean, isn't it fantastic? What a break from the replacement hooker, Constable.
Yeah, and also her skill set to get that ball away, that little offload behind. Again, Charlie Maymans with her skill set, that little dummy go. Brilliant try.
Sold it like a car salesman. It was brilliant to watch and brilliant to see. Now that break did interrupt our player of the match conversation. You were giving us your nomination from Hartpury as well, Gwennon Hopkins, but now surely you've got to throw Charlie Maymans into the mix too.
Oh, 100%. And she was my player of the match last game that I commentated on, so again, what a brilliant player she's been. Her skill set is shown today in attack. She's been absolutely brilliant in defence, and she's been ruthless, so it's going to be a hard choice. It
is going to be a hard choice, but one you have to make in only a couple of minutes. Not to put any more pressure on you. And speaking of pressure, it must be all off Loughborough in a way now, because the game is almost out of reach, some might say. There's only 7 minutes left on the clock. They are playing for pride now, aren't they? They're playing to close the gap, maybe grab a bonus point of their own.
No, Definitely, I think Loughborough here are going to try work hard. They're going to work hard, see what they can get off this, and see if they can really close that gap between the score at the moment.
Unfortunately, they won't do it. They won't do it like that. Not being able to secure the kickoff. Not sure what's happened there. Bit of confusion. Referee didn't initially call the accidental offside, but does so now. And scantering away with it is Nell Metcalf. But she's brought down deep inside the Loughborough 22. African Violet caught napping there. Everyone not knowing what to do. Veerkamp with a lovely show and go and a tip on to her fellow front rower, Alicia Smith. There was a good carry from Kelsey Webster, but not quite as high a quality offload from the floor from the Wales under-18, but the right idea from the back.
No, definitely.
We've got lots more changes coming in for Loughborough now as well. Joining us is Abba Austin, you saw in the build-up earlier, along with Poppy Phillips and Maisie Johns. They're all slotting in to the front row, and the smiles that you can see there on the screen very quickly is because Lily is smiling and giving her thumbs up to the Loughborough players, who can hold their heads high with their performances today, because Roberts and Finch in particular in that back row have played exceptionally.
Oh, definitely. They've really done well today, and I think their intensity they brought into the game has been really brilliant to see from those two.
17.
Well, it's another penalty against Hartpury University at the scrum, and it's Alicia Smith on this occasion. And now that we've hit the 75-minute mark, Lily, who is your player of the match?
My player of the match is Gwyneth Hopkins. To me, she has been unbelievable. She has been very physical, very direct, and just an amazing 8 today. I think she's defended very well, attacked very well, and to me, she has been my player of the match for this game.
Gwyneth Hopkins is the player of the match for Hartpury University. Fantastic performance from the back rower, as awarded, of course, by Lily. Well, that's a really good run now by Scantlebury on the far side. Here comes Maguire.
Play on.
You could hear it on the ref mic that there was a shout for playing on the floor, and the referee did pick up on it very quickly, and a penalty is awarded to Loughborough, so they have a chance now to send the ball into the corner to try and scrape something away from this fixture now in the second half.
No, and I believe they will. 4 minutes left. Oh, they've gone for the...
They've gone for the tap and go.
They've gone for the tap and go. They're going to play direct, they're going to play into this team, and they're going to play through the middle of them.
Well, Green sends that along one more to Shrewsbury. Maisie Johns this time. Scantlebury come right off the other side of the pitch to take that pass. And Becky Boyd with another really strong carry. Scantlebury rocketed backwards. And the attempted turnover from Hartpury is good because they've managed to take a penalty away. And Loughborough will be marched back 10 for their back chat to the referee as well. Things just go from bad to worse in the space of a couple of seconds. Well, there goes Millie Hyatt's kick, and it goes high into the Midland skyline. And I think it's worth mentioning the performance of the fly half as well this evening, because she's really steered the ship as any good fly half should in this game, and indeed Leah Green has as well.
Oh, unbelievably. They've both been unbelievable, I think, for both teams today. They've managed to pressure this game really well. In attack, flying forward through the middle where they need to, yet pulling it out to the backs at that point in time as well. And I think they've both managed the game really well.
Scrum advantage.
Well, Millie Hyatt doesn't mean to brag, but she got all 9s at GCSE. I don't know what that means, Lily, because I had letters back in the day, but impressive nonetheless, and impressive this evening. And ultimately, it's ended In a Hartpury University victory, it finishes Loughborough University 5, Loughborough University 5, Hartpury University 22. I could just hardly believe what I was watching, Lily, I do apologise. And Gwen-Anne Hopkins, of course, is our player of the match. Can you even sum that display up in one word, really, from the winners?
Well, I don't think I can. I think it was just, we said at the start it was going to be a physical performance. It was going to be brutal. There's going to be two teams coming together here, and what a clash this has been. What a clash it's shown. It's been nail-biting at some points. And I think that Hartpury here have come away with some late scoring tries in the second half, and I think that really steered them towards that win of the game. And I think Loughborough, however, came out, they defended unbelievably. And I think that was really helpful for them. They really tested those edges, but the only thing for me today is just the accuracy. Both teams had so many opportunities, just the accuracy fell short for Loughborough today.
But there are positives that they can pick up on heading into the rest of their Women's National League campaign. Obviously, for Hartpury now, that's 6 from 6. For Loughborough, that's 2 defeats on the bounce. How do they turn it around based on positives from today?
I think they defended unbelievably through the centre of that field, and I think that was a credit to Loughborough. Their attacking players, your players like Becky Boyd, Izzy Winter, your back rows, Lucy Finch, like this, they've all played and been very physical in that attack today, and I think they've created brilliant go forward for the team, and let's see how they can utilise that go forward through there.
Well, and there is the huddle of the Loughborough team. As I've said already, Loughborough University 5, Hartpury 22 is the full-time score. And there's the Hartpury team. We pan across to them. They'll be very happy on that very long coach journey back home, won't they?
Yes, they will be. 6 from 6 is unbelievable achievement from them.
Do you think that they could be the team to do it, the team to go the full season undefeated? I mean, we've seen some pretty spectacular performances from them. Give me a quick yes or no.
Yes, I think they could. I do think they could. With what they've shown today, I think they have the opportunity to do that. But we know how competitive this league is.
Well, let's take a look back at the best moments from this game, the try-lights, the things that we love to watch most. Starting, of course, with the scores from the first half. And this is Hartpury's first try. I mean, we've seen it already so far today, Lily, but it really just shows the quality of the Hartpury team in terms of their patience, the reload and the aggression from the forwards to score.
No, definitely, that's great from Evie Addy there. Real good physicality over that line.
And talk me through this special moment for Loughborough.
No, this was great. Again, bit of patience from Loughborough. Real good through the hands of Leah Green. Great control from her, and their classic hands to the edge. Ellen done really well, physicality within that there, and then she gets over the line.
I want to mention as well, particularly, really good quick hands from Alex Baker as well, just to sort of pop it along like a hot potato.
She's brilliant in that. She shows it all the time in training, so it's really good for her to see that today.
And here's the Hartpury University score, where Olivia Constable was in the driving seat at the Mall.
Again, Hartpury just stayed extremely tight there to get over the line. Real good, brilliant score from her.
She crashed over for their second score in the game, and then it was all about Hartpury from then as well. And moments like this, moments of magic from Charlie May-Mans and Gwen-Anne Hopkins, you can see why the visitors have come away victorious.
Yeah, what an unbelievable ball carrier she's been today. She's been around the park, she's been everywhere, she's popped up everywhere, and that's been brilliant to see from her today.
And we've got another try, the final try for us to enjoy. Brilliant break from Olivia Constable, and then it was the Charlie May-Mans show. I've said that a lot this season as well, because she really has been a standout player, and as you've seen from this evening, Lily, continues to be exactly that for Hartpury.
Oh, definitely, she is, and she has performed really well today.
Well, for Hartpury, they haven't quite hit the mark that they have done previously in terms of the amount of points they've scored. They've averaged 41 points per game so far in this league. So again, another big highlight to the testament of Loughborough's defensive effort in the fact that they were able to hold them to 22 points. Even though the gap might look big to the casual fan on paper, when you boil it down to that and you look at the nitty-gritty statistics, Loughborough have done a really good job today.
Oh, definitely. That half-time score, we can see it from that as well. I just think it's been an absolutely unbelievable game today, and I think there's been a real good physicality level between these two teams. And again, a game that never disappoints.
A game that never disappoints, and it's not disappointed today, has it, at all? Well, that's not the end of the action, though, in Bucks, because we've got plenty more coming up this year, as you've seen already in Bucks Super Rugby and Women's National League. But we've got plenty of sports action around the corner in the new year.
Let's take a look at what other big events are coming up this year in the Bucks calendar.
If it goes, and it does! Big strike. Marley Jessup.
And he's swept up by his teammates. Paul Brown Bappo!
And here we go. We are underway.
Rogers.
Welcome to the greatest day of the week.
Well, I don't know about you, Lily, but I'm even more excited for 2024 than I already was, because we've just got a plethora of sports around the corner for you all to enjoy. Now, let's quickly talk about what's going to come next in the Women's National League season for either of these teams. Hartpury have got to face Edinburgh once more on the road. That's a long drive up to Scotland. It's another away trip for them. They'll be desperate to get back home. And Loughborough also have to go on the road next week. They go down to Exeter. Two really big games for either of these sides. Hartpury, it was their last game against Edinburgh. It was the previous game to this one, actually, the curtain raiser, if you will, where they won 69-7. So they'll be expecting another big win. And for Loughborough, it's an opportunity to get back on track, but it won't be an easy one by any means, because Exeter are a fierce side.
Oh, no, they are, definitely. And I think that'll just be another great test for Loughborough, and see what they can take positives out of this game today and really take them down on the road to Exeter on the week. Not the weekend, sorry, Wednesday.
Well, and having heard that Hartpury will be facing Edinburgh next, do you think that they can keep that unbeaten run going? Because Edinburgh do seem to like home turf quite a bit.
No, definitely. I think they could have a really good opportunity to do that. And I think that is what's exciting about this league. When we go away to games like that, I think they're going to be the really competitive games, which is really great to see.
Well, your final thoughts quickly, Lily, before I let you go and get into a warm place, a warm, dry place. Your final thoughts on this match. Have you enjoyed it, and why should people keep tuning into Women's National League?
Oh, I've loved it. I love the physicality. I love the competition within this game, and this is why people should watch. Such a competitive league and bring absolutely amazing rugby at university level, and I think that is great.
Well, Lily, thank you so much for joining me up here in commentary. I'm now going to go back to Mr. Rogers of Bucks Rugby. Dave, who have you got?
Congratulations, player of the match. Congratulations on the win. 6 in a row, another bonus point. But Loughborough made you work hard for it tonight, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely, especially in the first half. Things weren't going our way, so that was definitely frustrating, but we had massive impact off the bench, and it really showed in the second half.
Well, you had impact off the bench, but you had 80 minutes out there, and you saved it till 70-odd to go into this corner here, show and go. A lovely try. Just talk us through that.
Well, it was great after it, but then I realised I had to run the extra 15 metres. So it was just head down and plough through. So it was great, but you know, it's great from having nines listening, having Char, having Tilly there, giving us options off the ruck. So it was really a team effort.
Spoke to the coach earlier. We're going to speak to him later, but he can't hear you right now. And I asked him the question, how does he keep all of your feet on the ground? Because you've still got games to play above the top teams, but that's 6 wins in a row now. You've shown that you can bury teams. You've shown that you can really dig in and still beat teams with bonus points. So how are you keeping yourselves level, or are you letting yourselves get a bit carried away?
Definitely not getting carried away. I think Loughborough showed it today, and the scoreline shows it, that teams are competing with us, especially Exeter, Loughborough. So we need to keep our heads down, feet grounded, so we can win this league again.
Oh, goodness me. Those are big words, but we like to hear them. A couple of big away trips coming up. Exeter, Edinburgh. How much are you looking forward to those? And in terms of the sort of national nature of this league, you're Welsh yourself. You get to go across the border, both the west, it is west, isn't it, and north as well. A full national league, and you're really representing at the very top of it. How does that feel?
Oh, it's great, and it's really lovely as well. We have friends from Wales and Loughborough here, girls I recognise from playing in England and stuff, and up in Edinburgh. So it's lovely. It's really nice to come away and have friends from other teams, but also be able to compete against them. So it's great, and it's really exciting.
Feet up now for Christmas?
After Edinburgh, hopefully, but still training hard and focusing on the rest of the season.
Well played, congratulations, and go and get warm because it's freezing. I'm going to take that and bring in a man who's a bit better dressed for the occasion. She was fantastic today, wasn't she?
Yeah, I think Gwen's someone that typifies us as a group. She's an absolute superstar on and off the field, and she's only a fresher. And I think one of the things that we said when asked, you know, can you do it again? I think the freshers group that have come in, they've not won anything. They haven't won a league. They've not won a cup. And they're the ones that bring the energy, you know. So when Loughborough scored and we're behind the post, she's the one dragging the group in and saying, right, come on, this is what we need to do. What's our next job? She's going to be an absolute superstar of the future.
Well, I was going to say you heard it here first, but anyone who watched the game will have seen it too. That is a bonus point victory, but you said at the start of the game that you thought it was going to be a challenge today. It was a challenge, and the more games we have like that, the closer games, the better contest, the better this league's going to be.
Look, like I said pre-game, I think this league is a very, very special league in terms of the enjoyment and getting to play with your mates. The beauty of it is competitive, and we're all here to grow the women's game and to make sure it grows in the right way, and this league absolutely typifies that. Working with the PWR, it's trending in the right direction, and look, competition is massive for this league. Loughborough did their homework. Well done to Katie and Emily. I thought their defensive effort from Loughborough was outstanding, and it made us work, and that's what we need as a group after a couple of weeks off. We can't expect teams to just bend over and, you know, expect just to roll over and, you know, allow us to score points. So it was nice that we had to work for it tonight. At half-time, that game could have gone either way, and it's a real sign of a good side when they want to come out and they want to keep fighting and they want to keep working. So look, we're trending in the right direction. I expect us to be nowhere near we need to be until playoff time.
What are the kind of messages that you were given, and how pleased were you with the response? Because you like to play running rugby, you like free-flowing rugby, a lot of ball in playtime. Didn't necessarily get that in the first half. There were a lot of infringements, a lot of errors. It was stop-start. So what were the messages that you passed on, and how pleased were you with how those were then implemented?
Yeah, look, I think the first, I mean, if you look at the territory stats, I think we were probably up there in terms of where we were playing in the right areas. The pitch is what we wanted to do. Discipline let us down first half massively. I think we had a big shift in our discipline second half. We cleaned up a few things around the breakdown. And look, we can't expect to be scoring every time we get into the 22, but I would like to see a little more urgency and actually from our girls. We will pick that up. We are harsh on ourselves when we do our analysis. And look, the nice thing for me as a coach and Sam and all the other girls, we don't need to say these things. We've got girls on the pitch already saying it, already doing it, already implementing it. And really, we only need to step in at the last minute. So, look, the girls are leading. That's the nice thing. We fixed a few things second half, and look, I'm glad we came out with a win.
Edinburgh next?
Edinburgh next.
Long way away.
It is a long way away, but again, the girls will use that as a good time just to get together, you know, spend a couple of days away. I think that's another thing that trip gives you, especially for us teams further down south. You do get a night away, you do get time to bond as a group and a team, and, you know, the Edinburgh away trips are special.
They are, yeah, I'd imagine they are. And I'm going to take that off you before you start to tell me what happens on those Edinburgh away trips. Well played today. They have gone 6 from 6. Hartpury are well on their way to defending the title. They've won not once, but twice in a row. Who can stop them? Maybe it's Loughborough, but they've got a little bit of work to do. Stick with us, not just in terms of the Women's National League, that'll be back with a live stream from Cardiff, but in terms of Bucks Super Rugby, where we have got Loughborough against Nottingham coming up next. But until then, get yourself a glass of something delicious and settle in. Goodbye.